Welcome to my Radiant Review, where I break down my weekly rank climb and share the high-level lessons I'm learning along the way. In this video, I'll cover how the new patch is changing the meta, where I started and ended my climb this week, what worked, what didn't, and the key concepts that I'm taking with me into the next week's push. Let's start with the biggest shift this week, the Tejo nerf. His missiles got gutted and the meta's already shifting. I barely saw him played, and when he was, it was a non-factor. That meant the new initiator pool to adapt to included Fade, Breach, Gecko, and Sova. So, where did that leave me? I started the week at 0 RR Immortal, just coming off a 2-week break. My only real goal? Get back into rhythm. I played 23 games and ended the week with 17 RR. Overall, I felt great on Icebox and Haven. Ever since I made my playbook for Icebox, it has become one of my most comfortable maps, specifically at holding the big bomb site on defense with the two new orb lineups I have learned. Holding yellow has become my new favorite thing. Haven, on the other hand, has been solely based off quick decision making. Things like quick rotating on defense or instantly TPing aggressively every round of offense. These two changes to my Haven gameplay has made it one of my best maps. On the other hand, Sunset and Ascent have been my worst maps. I don't have a playbook for what I should be doing on Sunset, and Ascent just feels weird with the wall update they did to it recently. All of a sudden, everybody is going toward the A bomb site to hold, leaving me holding B, which is not the easiest with Omen. I need to fix these maps if I want to climb, and I don't think doing so will be too hard with a little bit of time spent learning them better. All the other maps are decent for me so far. Pearl is my third best. I've been getting lucky on Lotus and know that I need to work on it, and then Split is just Split. And that brings me to the key concepts that I learned this week. Key concept 1. Close smokes to deny info are great. On maps like Lotus or Haven, start smoking or asking for a close smoke to deny enemy information. This can be done on Lotus next to half wall. Let the enemy take the space if required, and then use this smoke to retake or scare the enemy that you could be retaking the space. Another great smoke can be placed right at C. When you are attacking, put a smoke at the choke point, and you can have your entire team pop out of it at the same time, or use a fade dog or something. On Haven, look to smoke A main to deny all the information there, or smoke front C to really confuse your enemies to where you could be. Key concept 2. You need different strategies based off what the enemy's agents in the game are. I like playing ramp on defensive splits, but against a breach, this area is pretty unplayable. So I adjust and play back to where I don't get stunned and then can peek a player expecting to get a free kill. Or when I am playing against a Fade on Lotus who is throwing an eye A main, I need to adjust how I am taking A main space. I can't simply TP across without being in danger of dying. On the contrary, if you find yourself in a game where the enemy team doesn't have any droning utility and aren't hiding in corners, you are doing yourself a disservice. Great hiding spots when the enemy can't drone include Flower on Split, this box on Ascent, and Plat on Haven. Key concept 3. You don't always need to be the star of the game. Filling gaps can win you games from time to time. We all want to be the star, and perhaps players like Zekin, Aspas, and Texture need to be the star in every game they play. But us in Ranked simply need to realize when we are on teams that are carrying us and just get carried. In this game on Lotus, that was exactly what my team was doing. They were just on, and all I had to do was fill gaps, and Cypher was the gap that my teammates left open. The enemy Cypher kept lurking B pretty much every round, so I just decided to hold it and never leave until it was absolutely necessary. That doesn't mean you shouldn't make your plays and try to help your team win, but it also means you shouldn't be overextending trying to solo carry, but actually lose your team the game because of it. Key concept 4. There is always something to learn from every game you play. Improving by yourself can be pretty hard, as knowing what you are doing wrong or right isn't clear-cut, but it can be with a little practice. For example, I have figured out what strategies work and what ones don't pretty well, and one of the strategies that works is playing stairs on Lotus on defense, but just because it generally works doesn't mean it works every time. And a game this week showed me just that. So what did I learn? That I need to play on site more when my stairs play isn't working. But the only reason I know this is because I have also played on site and know that that play works also. Your key takeaway? Find multiple strategies that work and adjust until you find one that does, because you can always learn by doing what works until it doesn't, and then switching to a new strategy and seeing if that works. And that is it for this week's Radiant Review. I don't quite know how to construct these videos yet, but I know I will get better and better as I make more. And here's what I'm going to focus on next week in order to continue climbing to Radiant. Based on how weak Sunset felt, I'm making it next week's focus. I'll be building a new playbook and experimenting with some aggressive controller options. I'm also going to spend a bit of time working on Lotus to make it a more comfortable map. Everybody wants to be the best player in whatever they do, and that is why I am making this series. The only way to improve is to review, and review I shall. This video is mostly for my benefit, but I will try to make it valuable for others at the same time. Week 1 is over, but here is to many more to come. Radiant is the goal, but rank 1 will always be the dream. Until next time.